Just wait for a few people to tune in. Comment your thoughts. Raise a glass. That's the first thing I want to say is... Oh, boy. The sister's watching. Very good. Jade. Welcome, everyone. If you've got a drink, I recommend you raise your glass to Brett Ratton and the St Kilda Football Club for what was an unbelievable fucking performance tonight. That last quarter was phenomenal. Comment, let me know, when was the last time you felt this good about a win? Because I've let loose. We ordered, to celebrate, we ordered hot jam donuts that you'd usually get at the footy. And I consumed that in one bite. Well worth it. The wine just makes everything better. And the win is just phenomenal. How good was that? Comment your thoughts. Tell me what you think and we'll run through this. I just want to enjoy this and get everyone tuning in. We'll bask in the win. I think statistically, we're now third on the AFL ladder, guys. So enjoy that. We are third on the ladder. When we botched two other games that we could have won, we would be outright top of the table right now if it wasn't for those wins. But we're going to enjoy this win. That was something else. It had a different feeling about it. Even my girlfriend, she was going nuts. You know, especially the last 10 minutes where it looked like, there was, we were further enough ahead that it was like, okay, maybe we've won this game. I can't believe we won this game, but we weren't that far ahead that, maybe Port could make a run and steal the win, but they didn't. We were phenomenal all night. Phenomenal. And I know there are going to be some comments out there saying Seb Ross, which Kyle has just mentioned, great game, but Seb Ross. And I said to my girlfriend after the game, I go, you know what? People are going to say some bad things about Seb Ross tonight, but if Seb Ross is a part of a team that beats the top team on the ladder in front of their home fans on their home deck when we haven't beaten them in 9 years, then play him every week. I don't care because we got the job done with Seb Ross and clearly he had a game plan for him, a role for him, and he did the job and the boys were outstanding. Firstly, I want to say, Paddy Ryder and Rowan Marshall, sensational. They had they kicked 4 goals between them. The Port Adelaide ruckman did absolutely nothing. He got telled up. I feel sorry for the guy. But Paddy Ryder kicked 2 goals. Rowan Marshall kicked 2 goals. Rowan Marshall had 15 disposals versus Paddy Ryder's 10. Paddy Ryder had 29 hitouts to Marshall's 11. So there was 40 hitouts, 4 goals, and nearly 30 disposals between our 2 ruckmen. I dare say you couldn't have asked for a better game where 2 rucks have played, because that is exactly why we wanted to play 2 rucks. And I will put my hand up and say that yes, I have been skeptical along with Marshy and Joyce in the podcast. We've all been a bit skeptical of, geez, do we play 2 rucks? Is it negating Marshall's style of play and promoting Ryder? Are we trying to? Does it have enough balance? And tonight it had the perfect balance. Every week, it'll differ between games, but tonight Brett Ratton made the right call. I thought it was a phenomenal call to bring in Jack Sinclair. I want to say a special shout out to him because he started the game on fire. I don't know what in the end he finished with. Jack Sinclair, where are you on the disposal count, mate? He finished with 15 disposals, but his first half was great. For a guy that hasn't played all season to come in a big game against the top team, I thought he was phenomenal. I thought it was his endurance that really helped us. He just constantly seemed like he had an extra gear compared to his opponent, and it looked like for most part of the game, we had an extra gear. And, the first term was great. We were down, but I thought the method and the style was right, and we just needed to execute a few more things to get the job done. Second quarter, we got it going, kicked 4 goals to 2, hit the front. Dan Butler, it was weird seeing him have set shots and kicking goals. He had 13 goals prior to this game. He's now got 15. I think Dixon's kicked 1, so he's on 16. So Dan Butler's outright second. Jack Steele, another 21 disposals. Dan Butler, 2 goals. Hunter Clark was immense. There were times where he was surrounded by 5 or 6 Port Adelaide players and he dodged all of them. It was ridiculous. I thought Dougal Howard and Jake Carlisle, did an exceptional job on Dixon. He only kicked the one goal. It looked like he was getting his confidence up, but Dougal-Howard was always there to give him a punch, get the ball out of bounds. I thought the back line was phenomenal. I thought Ben Patton had a few very important moments where he took some really critical marks in the goal square and, on the defensive line. And he's had his haters this season, but geez, I've been backing him all season. He is getting better every week. Nick Caulfield the same. I thought Jaron Geary did his job. I thought Callum Wilkie, I want to give a big shout out to Callum Wilkie, who kind of sacrificed his own game to take down Robbie Gray, who has torn us a new one every time we've played Port Adelaide in the last 5 or 6 years. In this game, I think Robbie Gray, apart from that one goal he kicked at half-time or maybe quarter-time, he's done nothing. He did nothing tonight. Wilkie in his pocket's going to go to the Noosa Hub, pull out his wallet, his keys, and find Robbie Gray in there. He owned him. And that last quarter was a sight to behold. Our second halves have not been our best, to say the least. We're a very good first quarter and second quarter team. First half team in general, we're very good. We're up there in the top 3 or 4 teams in the league for points for in the first halves. Third quarter, generally is our worst term. That's where we lost it against Freo, even last week against Adelaide, against Carlton, against Richmond Bulldogs. We always lose it in the third. And it started bad. I think Port had at least 10 consecutive inside 50s at that point, and they only kicked maybe a point or two. We go up the other end, slingshot it, kick a goal, important goal, puts us 7 points up. From then on, we didn't look back. I loved that in the last quarter when, it could have been easy to succumb to pressure and be like, shit, we're in front, what do we do? And panic and then let Port back into the game. We backed ourselves just like Ratton's taught us to, and we went for the jugular. This is one thing that we haven't done all season. When we've had a lead, we've refused to go for the jugular. Tonight, we put the foot down, guys. We put the foot down, and I loved that. I was telling my girlfriend, I can't believe I'm doing this, but there was 3 or 4 minutes to go in the game, and I'm prepping to go live. I'm that comfortable with the boys getting the job done that I'm going live and I'm prepping it, and I didn't have to worry about them. Usually you feel like, you got to watch the boys to see if they're playing okay, but I could just walk away and get the job done, and I have not been this happy with a win in years. And I'd love to know the last time you guys felt the same way, because, this was, the commentators, Channel 7 commentators were talking up Port Adelaide's youngsters for 3.5 quarters of the game. They loved them. All they did was talk about them. They didn't talk about Clark or Caulfield or King. By the way, I just want to mention, I put a multi on tonight, and Max King, I needed him to kick 2 goals. He kicked 1. I needed him to kick 2. I would have won $2,500. So Max King, you've cost me $2,500 tonight, but it doesn't matter because we got the points. We're in the top 4. We've beaten the top team on their home deck. We've broken another hoodoo, and we move on to playing Sydney, who's a bottom team, next week at the Gabba. So we're now 5-3. There's nothing more to say, guys. This is sheer emotion. I'm not going to talk too many tactics. Although, to be fair, in the preview, we talked about the speed. We talked about bringing in Nick Hind, Matty Parker, Sinclair. I have to say, all of them did a very good job tonight. Matty Parker had the chance to kick a goal. He shanked it. Nick Hind kicked a massive goal outside 50. I did not expect him to kick that, but he did. I thought that Jack Sinclair was very good for most part of the game. He offered us endurance. He didn't stop running. The inferred pressure that I wanted us to give to Port Adelaide, we did through Matty Parker, through Sinclair's. It's those sort of guys that don't stop running that put Port Adelaide defenders under pressure. When they get the ball, even if they're not under any pressure at all, they think they're under pressure and they fumble. And they did a lot tonight. This is probably, for the whole game, it felt like a final. It felt like one of those games where the ball was, no one could take clean possession because the pressure was so high. Port Adelaide's pressure was through the roof for 3 quarters. Through the roof. Ours was also through the roof. But we kept it going more than them. We kept it going for 16 minutes more, and that meant for that 16 minutes when they dropped off and we kept going, we buried them. How good does it feel that we buried a team? Because the second they dropped off, we feasted on that. We did not stop. We were frenetic. And that was the most pleasing thing about the game, was not only just the win itself, but the method of the win. Port were good. Port were decent. They played well. But the fact that we kicked 12 goals won, I think Peter just mentioned, 12 goals won. We win by 29 points, I think it was, wasn't it? It was a 29-point win. At three-quarter time, it was a one-point advantage. They didn't score a goal in the last quarter. We kicked, 5 or 6 to seal the win against the top team. That is a team that is slowly growing. You know, we stuffed it against North, we stuffed it against Freo, but I said during the week, everything will be forgiven if we beat Port Adelaide on the weekend. And we beat them, and you know what? I forgive that Fremantle loss. You know, I forgive that. You know, it's a monumental win. And during the week I said the Adelaide win was historic and people gave me shit for it. This is historic. This is a changing of the guard. This isn't, you know, it's a great feeling. But enough about me. I'm not gonna go on because all I could do is talk about how happy I am. I thought Clark's composure was phenomenal, just like what Sarah said there. And this is a win that, I mean, when was the last time we had a win where it was like, okay, maybe we are the real deal. Maybe we are. Maybe there is a changing of the guard here. Maybe there's something going on behind the scenes. Maybe we can believe. You know, the fact that at the end of the game, James Brayshaw called us contenders. I cannot remember the last time anyone said that about us post-game. It was always about how bad the other team was. Tonight, post-game, the only thing the commentators could say was, wow. That last 15 minutes by St Kilda was insane. That was match-winning football. That was finals-like football. And credit to the boys. We have been on their backs with some of these losses that we've had. But to say that we are now 5-3, we've coughed up 2 games we should have won, and the only team to really beat us from start to finish was Collingwood, who are one of the premiership favourites. We could not be in a better position. We're playing Sydney next week. It's going to be another tough game. They've just had their big win today. So, you know, they'll be full of confidence, but it's going to be a big game for us. But enough about me. Let's go through some of these comments. There have been a shit ton of comments. I don't think I'm going to get through all of them, so forgive me guys for that. Let's go through it. Toby, what a win. Caleb says, fuck yes. Up the mighty Saners, says Luke. Sarah says, yeah, the boys. How good was Hunter from Max? Hunter Clark was phenomenal. Higher from Jade, my sister. Good to see her tuning in. Good even team effort from Peter. Exactly right. It was a team win. We didn't rely on superstars. I mean, if you look at goal kickers, how many individual goal kickers did we have? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We had 8 individual goal kickers for 12 goals, 1, and we win the game by 5 goals. Phenomenal. Output was immense. Best win for many years, says Clint. I agree. I do not think that that's understating the win. This is one of the best wins we've had in a long time, and by far Brett Ratten's best win as St Kilda coach. By far his win. How is Ross in best players from Archie? Archie, ignore that. Enjoy the win. It doesn't matter about Seb Ross. We'll see during the week what happens if Hanbury's fit. Does Ross get a rest? We don't know. But to be fair, at the end of the day, like I said, if Ross is part of a team that does a job on the top team and gets the win by 5 goals, it's really hard to pinpoint a negative, to be honest. How was the goal that was reversed from David? That's, I assume you're talking about the Membry bicycle kick. That was insane. That's when I thought, okay, maybe we've got the win, because if anything like that is going right, then that means that we're getting the job done, doesn't it? Like, when something like that happens, you're like, yep, I think the gods are watching us, and it's meant to be. Tonight is the night. And that's something that, watching the game, I struggled to come to terms with, to be honest, guys. Like, I was like, I'm a Saints fan. I'm used to losses. I'm used to honourable losses, you know, and even with 2 minutes to go and we're 3 goals up, I was like, nah, there's every chance that we botch this, but we didn't, and we got over the line. And that's one of the things that I think about. Like, you know, Richmond supporters from 2 years ago, they won the flag. Did they have a feeling where it's like, wow, I honestly can't believe this happened, because tonight I can't believe that happened. I'm really proud of the guys. Andrew's votes are 3 votes, Hunter Clark, Paddy Ryder 2, and Marshall 1. Good to see both rucks getting votes there. That's not surprising at all. Marcus says, how fucking good is that? We are a top 8 team, Jake. Fuck Port. I swear I have thoughts about St Kilda winning the grand final on my birthday. Imagine that. Imagine a Saints premiership on your birthday. Tim says, I believe I broke the sound barrier with my own phone. My hands are hurting from the amount of clapping I did in that game, guys. The amount of clapping I did in that game, my hands are red and hurting, but it doesn't matter. It's well worth it. It's better than my throat being sore from yelling at the team for playing so poorly. I am just sore because I'm so ecstatic. It's a rare feeling. Hunter Clark was best on ground, 100% consistent through the game. Ben says huge that Marshall and Ryder both had great games, shows they can play together effectively. That goal from Ryder in the last quarter or whatever it was, when he grabbed it and dribbled it, was ridiculous. We have one of the best partnerships in terms of rucks in the competition. When they play like that, there's not many rucks in the competition that can beat that output. They had nearly 40 hitouts between them, 4 goals and 30 disposals. You could not ask for more between 2 rucks. Zoe says, I can sleep so peacefully tonight knowing the boys have won. I'm going to sleep very easy tonight, trust me. Tony says, given the hardest task in AFL football in the last 2 weeks, never been done before, and we killed it. Off a 5-day break, we now get a week off. Well-earned break, guys. What a win. I mean, that's all I can say is what a win. Marcus says, that third quarter was unreal. We held up defensively for 10 minutes and then went bang, so proud. I know, if anything, that third term was as important, as impressive as that fourth term. Because if we didn't hold steady in that third term, that fourth term would never have happened, because Port would have got a run on that third, kick goals, we would have been behind and chasing tail, it wouldn't have worked. But that third term, the defence gave the fourth term attack an opportunity to take the game by the scruff of the neck and put the nail in the coffin, and they did that. That's what I love, is that every chance we needed to take, we took it. Like, it was the perfect performance. That is exactly the game that we expect from our boys every week. Best game in years from Natalie. Ben says, lowest we can finish after this week is 5th. Happy days. Great. I was actually going to do the calculations myself, but very good that 5th is the worst case scenario. Katrina says, who loved the accuracy? The only point was a missed dribble. That's right. Wasn't it a poster? Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it a Butler poster in the first term when he dribbled it? Cameron says, you know what? I'm proud of Seb Ross for doing his role tonight. Good call. Very good call. Brett says, yes, Jake, how good was the donut? Should change the name of donut to prospect. They are that good. Nathan says, loved it. Just need to get rid of Seb Ross. Bring in Savage. Jeez. But focusing on the negatives there, mate. You got to focus on the positives. Make a 3 in a trot against the Swans next week. That's going to be good. The fact that we've been Adelaide bogey team, Port Adelaide bogey team, and now we've got Swans coming up, who are an equal bogey team. The last time we beat the Swans would have been 4 or 5 years ago. Massive opportunity to get a lot of monkeys off the back. And then I think we've got Gold Coast on a Thursday night after that, then Geelong. So there are some winnable games coming up if we can really get our fitness up during these short turnarounds and keep a fit team on the track. Also, good on Kent for limping and still getting the sport. I know, that's from Cameron. Great comment, Cameron. That was phenomenal. The fact that he was holding his leg, he was clearly not able to run, but he still put his hand up and actually punched the ball between 2 Port defenders. That's the mentality that we had tonight, was that no matter what, all in, body on the line sort of stuff. And we did that, and it got us the win. Shane says, enjoy the drink, mate. I'll just have a quick sip there. Enjoy the drink. We did well. Nice to see Howard and Ryder doing well against their old teams. Up the Saints. Jordan Parsons, Saints won Parker, didn't score 102. I think that's probably, I can't even understand what that's saying, to be honest. Rod says, great game, Saints. Well done, Skunk. I know, great for him to have his 100th game, to perform like that, kick a critical goal in the last term, get the win. Amazing performance. I mean, everything that needed to go right went right, apart from Max King kicking 2 goals and getting me my big multi-win. I'll let him off for that one. Pete says, brilliant, Saints, great stuff, good changes during the week, starting to show the guys we know they have playing for each other. The fact that we could bring in a Sinclair, a Parker, and a Hind, and they all had a critical role that got us the win today is amazing. That depth is great. And that makes me more excited to see other players that we haven't brought in yet, like a Logan Austin or maybe even a Jack Bytel next week. Someone like that against the Swans could be really, really beneficial when they come in. And it shows the pressure that the players have now, because they know there's depth. That means when they come in, they need to perform, otherwise they're going to lose their position. That is great. We haven't had that in a long time. Great response from Hill also. I thought, Brad Hill kudos to him. What did he end up with in the end? Brad Hill. 16 disposals, but I thought he got in. His pressure acts were up. That's something that we've wanted for him for a long time. He's not just getting the easy ball. He laid a few big tackles, and he pushed hard. His endurance, this is a sort of game that his endurance stands out because it was a high-pressure game. There were not a lot of uncontested marks, so the ball was in motion a lot, which means players are running a lot. So when there's fatigue in the last term, that's when he shines, and I thought he did a really good job. Well done to Rats. His plan is coming together nicely from Colin. I'm just going to skip a few comments here, guys, because there are literally hundreds. There are a lot of comments. Our backline is awesome. That's from Damien. Took good marks, but didn't kick so well from Patton. Yeah, fair enough. There were a few kicks there. I thought Jake Carlisle was good, but a few kicks, when he just needed to bomb it, he went for really short, risky kicks, which I'm sure is a directive from Ratton to take on the game. But there are times where, like, for instance, we're 7 points up. He tries to go for a really risky kick, turns it over. Port get a chance on goal. They miss it, but the fact that they got a chance was a direct result of his bad kick. Those are the times where you're like, yeah, bomb it, milk 30 seconds, we keep the lead, get the ball further up the ground, we reset, and that's what happens. But, those were the rare occasions where we did something wrong. But tonight, it was almost a flawless performance. Jack says, how refreshing is it seeing us kick straight after all these years of being shit kicks? At goal, well fucking done. Good comment there, mate. Coffs Harbour is a gent. Max King, son of Wayne. Great work is to Geary tonight. Kept Boak to only 8 disposals. Phenomenal there. I didn't know that stat. That is very impressive. Super chuffed for Paddy and Dougal. Gresh Prince of Moorabbin from Tom. So many comments, guys. This is unreal. Stay happy, Jakey from Shane. Mate, I'm going to be happy for a long time. That is for sure. How good is it that Dad, Paddy Ryder, his work in the middle is fantastic. His tap work, that is why we play him. His tap work to Gresh, to steal, is unreal. Rowan Marshall around the ground beats Paddy Ryder every day of the week, but in terms of direct tap to a running player, there's not many better in the competition than Paddy Ryder, and I'm so glad that he's now a Saint. Insane in the membrane from Tom, bringing out the chance. Neil says, yeah, Jakey, haven't been this happy for years either. Probably not since the 2017 Maddies match against Richmond, where I ran into Eric Banner at the airport. What a big night that would have been. So good to see Hind playing. Membury's goals were awesome. 12 goals won is unbelievable. Ben Dixon doesn't work for us anymore, obviously. That's from Peter Martin. Great to see Saint supporters there tonight. I know, it was good to hear the crowd, even the last term, I think it was, where Port clearly outnumbered us in terms of fan base, but I could hear, St Kilda, bum, 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 St Kilda, the claps, the old school chants that we're used to hearing at Marvel Stadium, we could hear reverberate around Adelaide Oval, which is fantastic. Love the way we silenced the crowd to only boos of the umps from David, great call. Jack says, last time I felt this good about a win was the massive comeback when we played the Doggies a few years back. Geez, that's a long time ago. That would have been 2016, I think it was. Marcus says, yes. Also, anyone who has doubts about signing to be a member, do it. This is the most exciting footy I've seen since 2010. As a result, we have never had more fans than now. I know, I think we're only 150 members off the record for the club ever. So if you're not a member, sign up. Please do. The club needs the support, but also they bloody deserve it after performances like this. Get on board because you want to be a member when we're playing finals, that's for sure. I'm not saying we're in finals yet, but there's a big chance that if we can get the job done next week, we're 6-3. Finals, you probably need 10 wins. There's a big chance we make it. Fucking get it, Jakey, you good thing. Loving the pressure and the will to win. I know, it was almost like everyone just collectively, mentally said, you know what? We're not fucking losing this today. I don't care what happens. We are not losing this today. Everyone on the field had that mindset. We are not losing no matter what. We are not giving up the points. And that passion just fed through the whole team. The tackling, the chasing, the finishing. I cannot wait to watch the replay, particularly of that last term where we just took hold of them. The fact that, even a 1-point win I would have been happy with it, but the fact that we ran away with it and won by 5 goals is amazing. Amazing. There we go. Comments disappeared for a sec. Aaron Gock says, member is a gun. Future is exciting with King. Ryder, a.k.a. Cyril. How many teams have won back-to-back away at Adelaide Oval? That's a very good question. I'm not sure. And off a 5-day break, remember that. Connor raised that question. Very good question. It'd be very rare that teams would win back-to-back or even play back-to-back at Adelaide Oval. I might leave it there, guys. I mean, it's so good to just stay on board and just keep chatting. The comments are outrageous. Like, there's so many comments. I can't get through all of these. I'm gonna have to respond to these post-game after I watch the replay. But yeah, lastly, I'll leave it there. But so proud of the boys. The pressure was what got us the win. The speed got us into an attacking position. And the execution and efficiency after we had the speed to execute delivered the score. The fact that we kicked 12 goals 1 to 6 goals 8, less scoring shots, and we get the job done against the top team, you could not ask for much more. Guys, I say raise your glasses one more time. We have beaten the top team. We're now 5-3. We are third on the AFL ladder. We play Swans next Saturday. Get behind the boys. Again, if you're not a member, sign up. They deserve it after everything they've done for us tonight. I haven't been this happy in a long time. I'm going to leave it there because I'm just ranting. I'm just very happy. But yeah, final score, Port Adelaide 44, Saints 73. Enjoy it, Sainers. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'm going to see you Thursday night to preview the Swans game. But keep in mind, we've got the podcast on Tuesday, so it'll be out Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Stay tuned for that because Marshy and Joycey, from all the texts they sent me, are very happy. The podcast is going to be a good one this week, so looking forward to it. But until then, I'll see you guys Thursday night again. Sainers top 4 have beaten the top team. Go you Sainers. See you guys.